It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
All right, you already know who it is. It's your girl E. I was gonna say E and girl It is another episode of VIB3Z Podcast. I'm your host E. Grady, the motherfucking baby, and to my here, who we got? Who is you? Not today. Not today, y'all. Who is you, my nigga?
You know some shit when you get in there?
Sometimes.
Okay. It's your homeboy, Mastermind, Mr. Virgo.
You know
and, 12 far, right?
Oh, you know she baby fentanyl. But this is your boy
Too big to be
Two
on
Devil
fentanyl.
King, fleeky eyebrows, trigger if you nasty. And today,
that shit
But
there.
you need the mask around your wrist.
no, first of all, I stay protected. That's your problem. You want red light, but we ain't talking about
That's true.
that.
We ain't going into that.
We ain't worried about that. Go ahead, we got
company today. You're not supposed to just be putting my business out there all the time.
I run them too.
Alright, now I feel
Make sure you talk to the mic. That's the only reason I put it to your face. I need you to relax. Go ahead, introduce your guest.
Let them know who you are today, sir.
This thing on. What's going on, VIB3Z Podcast? I'm DJ Gully, the one and only.
The OG, the GOAT.
Like, you gotta play dreams and nightmares. That boy.
He was. He was.
I was
It's
super
real.
loud.
Nope.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
Turn my mic up.
for the people who don't know who you are, let them know who you are.
What you mean? Like, I'm DJ Gully.
And who is DJ Gully?
DJ.
Did you start throwing them gang signs and
No, I
shit?
thought the fact that I put DJ in
Oh,
front
it's
of
supposed to
Gully.
be like, oh, I'm just a DJ.
indicator.
However, for people who don't know, my nigga,
Oh.
you got businesses on top of businesses.
Oh,
on
yes,
top of
yes,
businesses.
yes.
So
So-
let them know.
First and foremost, above, I'm DJ Gully, but more than that, I'm a father. That's probably my number one job. That's probably my
Girl dad.
my most favorite, least favorite job of all is being a father.
How many girls you got?
I got 4 girls, 1 boy.
Woo! Shit!
Yeah.
Praise to you, brother.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang,
I
bang.
can curse on here?
Yes, you
Oh yeah, because I be fucking.
can.
I was doing a lot of fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe we should have warmed up to that.
No.
You know,
You know me.
Nigga, you only
Like,
been here for 5
no, you
minutes.
know me.
Opened up.
My nigga, you know me.
But
I stay in trouble for cursing.
But yeah, you do. But yeah, I'm a dad. I have 2 businesses. DJ. I'm a veteran. I served in the armed forces for a number of years. I have a moon bounce company. I also have an entertainment company, Party and Jump Inflatables. That's my moon bounce company. Then we have Premier Event Specialists of Maryland. That is our entertainment company. On that side, we focus on the DJing, lighting, things like more the higher end events, weddings, things of that nature. And with Party and Jump, we focus on kids events. So I kind of got my hands in a little bit of everything.
What I noticed, you said we, so it's not just you. You got a team.
Well, see, by default, I use the term we because I never look at in any entity that I do. I never look at it as me, myself, or carry it as just I'm that guy. No, because everything that I do couldn't be done without my team. So I always use the term we. You know, even when there are questions that's directed strictly to me, is we're going to get it done because that's how we roll. And don't fuck with nobody on my team.
Like that.
Simple as that.
How did you even get started? Like, so how did Premier Events get started? How did Party and Jump get started? How did DJing even get started?
So I'm gonna start with DJing because I've been doing that the absolute longest.
How long you been DJing?
I've been DJing since 1991.
Talk your shit, my nigga.
Since 1991, I've been DJing. A lot of
You
y'all
was
wasn't
alive then too, weren't
A
you?
lot of y'all
I was
wasn't even
2 years
fucking
old.
sperm when they fucking I was started DJing.
You was not 2 at 1999.
1991, he said?
9.
1991.
He said
shit.
91.
I was-
Oh, so you had that little folder with all the CDs in it.
Yeah, I mean, I was DJing before. I had records. I had
I'll say
albums.
records, nigga, not CDs.
Crates.
Records.
Like,
Crates,
that bitch-
vinyl, nigga.
Crates
Current
of
the crates
records.
in the club.
And so my dad was a musician. And my mom was a singer. And in between his in between their band gigs, he would DJ on the side. So 1989, I I'll never forget. There was a rap group called EPMD. EPMD, their DJ was a guy named DJ Scratch. And they came out to Cherry Hill for whatever, I don't know why, but they came out to Cherry Hill and they just kind of threw like a promo concert out in Cherry Hill. And then it was kind of like this point in the show where they was like, Scratch, break it down. And I mean, if anybody's familiar with DJ Scratch and the work that he put in terms of DJing, like, I mean, this is like, again, this is 89 and I mean, he's put on a show. And when I looked, you know, I was just like, that's what I want to do. And by my dad being a musician, he was all in support of it. Anything music-wise, he was in support of it. So I said, that's what I want to do. About 2 years later, he put that money up to get my first set of equipment. Yeah, he did that, and then he took me to my grandmother's house and pulled out like, it wasn't even a crate. It was like this thing he built full of records, maybe like 200, 300 records. So the first set of records, here it is. At this time, it's 91. I'm 11 years old. Matter of fact, the person who showed, because we got to be documenting all of this.
Oh, yeah.
The person who actually sold me my first set of DJ equipment was DJ Booby. A young DJ Booby sold me my first set of turntables.
Yes.
And I went home. My dad gave me all these records. Here it is. I'm 11-year-old kid with nothing but records from the early 80s and the late 70s and 60s. And so that's what I first learned how to DJ on. And that was just something I kind of did as a hobby all through high school. It was kind of like a closeted thing because I didn't want nobody really knowing. Like, that's what I was doing. So I would be like, so only my close friends knew that, like, after running the streets, ripping and running all around Cherry Hill all day, I went in my room and I transformed into.
So where our kids playing,
I was GQ from Juice.
Yeah.
That's what I transformed into, like, every night, like, soon as the sun went down. And I did that as a hobby, and I would just kind of do it, like, here and there. And years went by, and I went to service. That's when I really was just like, you know, I really wanted to keep doing this. And so I was the kind of like the guy, like, you go to your family house and you're like, yo, who is that over there? You're like, oh, some guy I work with. Like,
You was the guy I worked with.
That was me for a while. And then what happened was people was like, yo, you kind of good. I'm like, bro. Like,
I used to the back home cookouts and shit.
I knew, because that's what it was. Like, if I knew somebody was having something, I'd be like,
I DJ for you.
I just come through, I'll play. You ain't even got to pay me.
Oh, you was on the love of it.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get the experience of playing for people.
Mm.
And that proved to be such an invaluable thing for me. And it just kind of, the DJing just kind of grew from there, and it was kind of a word of mouth thing. Like, hey, I know a bar over here, and I know this. And once I moved back to Baltimore from after being in the service, it just kind of just ballooned from there, and things started coming my way so much. I almost didn't have. I've been stupid to not pursue it, you know. And then to kind of fast forward, it was the same thing happened with getting into the moon bounces. I started doing kids parties as a DJ because I seen it being a market that a lot of DJs wasn't addressing or wasn't catering to. And at that time, DJing was just transitioning from the turntables to CDJs to what we now call these controllers. Mm-hmm. And I was like one of the first DJs to kind of get on controllers. And I was like, wait a minute, if I get this controller, I can get a controller. You know, I already got my laptop, my controller, and a powered speaker. I can do kids parties all day and not have, you know, not be lugging a whole bunch of equipment. Right. And so that market just kind of ballooned. And the next thing I know, I'm doing like these festivals, these kids festivals and things like that. And so, again, I'm always keeping my eyes open for opportunity. And I'm seeing like, wait a minute, I'm showing up to these events and this guy over here got moon bounces. Well, I'm gonna be here anyway. You know, I'm gonna be here anyway. Let me look into these moon bounces and
You provide all my service.
And then next thing you know, that's pretty much how I kind of got moon bounces. And it was really my timing. My timing was almost like God's timing for real, because at the time I was working, and I'm a habitual saver. I save money. People like, what you saving for? I don't know. I don't know until I know. And then luckily I'm just sitting around. Maybe when I look up and I got a couple dollars sitting to the side, I'm just like, I go on Craigslist and I see a company going out of business, and I call them and we strike up a deal. And I was a couple dollars short, but you know, we ended up being able to work something out. I bought out their inventory, and that was the birth of the Moon Bounce Company. And I was able to rock and roll from there, invest in vans.
Well, did you have a lady at the time?
Yeah.
And she was like, did you ask her before? You just like, yo.
Nah. I'm gonna tell you.
Hey.
This about to be the OG gem drop right here.
Yes.
Listen, when it comes to money, no disrespect to none of the female listeners out there, but fellas, you will never lose a woman chasing money.
Yeah, but that ain't no old school gym. That's today's gym.
My father, I mean, I'm just saying, it's been around for a while. My father explained that to me. He said, son, you'll lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. So, I ain't had to talk to nobody about it, because you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a timeless gym. That go from the late 40s to like that shit.
Man. Yeah. So you know, that was how that one went. I mean,
where did you get your name, DJ Gully, from? Like when you was 11, was that your name?
No, I didn't get Gully until last name is Gilmore, right?
Okay.
And if you look up the Gully is like a West Indian slang for like go hard, you know. So you'll see like in the Caribbean, you'll see like a lot of Gully this, Gully that, like, oh, he's Gully. Well, first time I was in I was in basic training. I went into my school and I got my first duty station, and you know, I had to swear somebody away, basically. You know, they kind of got outside the box, and I had to bring them back in the box. And one of my buddies named Trinidad was like, yo, you Gully. Yo, you're like, you Gully. So the supplement called me Gilmore, which was the name that, you know, in the military, everybody kind of call you by your last name. Mm-hmm. He was just called, it was like Gullymore. It didn't just became Gully. It was like Gilmore to Gullymore to Gully. And when I decided to like start DJing professionally, I was just like, DJ Gully.
Couldn't go with your first name.
Yeah,
So,
I could have.
That's phony. So anywho, what you mean?
She really just shitted on the name. She really just shitted on the name that my parents gave me.
And no control over it. That's shit.
So what you been in the game for as long as you have? What has been some of your a high moment for you and a low moment for you?
High moment, low moment. I'm gonna start with a low moment because this is a moment I hold on to this day. So I can't remember the year, but I was asked by another DJ friend of mine to DJ a high school reunion. And so I said, okay, all right, cool, I'll do it. And it was one of those things where I built it up in my mind that it was just going to be this high-end thing.
Psych!
And so I played as if I was playing for, like, let's say like a high society type of event. And when I just should have just played, I should just gave him Jeezy. I should just gave him the Jeezy, the Gucci. I'm in my Neo bag. I'm in my R&B bag. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. You know, in my mind, I'm keeping it grown.
It was the most ratchet event you ever.
Matter of fact, it was The high school was Carver. It was Carver High School.
Oh, you got
Don't let me do that.
So
what y'all not gonna do is that. That's
So
the
look,
fuck.
look.
You said Carver, that would have been it for me. All right.
So, but here's the thing. I didn't know the high school until I got there. But again, I built it up in my mind. And mind you, I'm a few years in at this point. So I built it up in my mind that, all right, cool, we're going to be in this R&B Hansa Diddy bag. You know, I'm going to keep it grown and sexy.
Because it's a reunion.
And so, did the party. You know, some people party, some people. So either the next day or the day after that, I'm at my homeboy storage room. We just shooting the shit, whatever. And so he asked me, he's like, yo, how that event from the other night? I'm like, yo, I did my thing, yo. I did my thing. Because in my mind,
You did
I
your
killed
thing.
I did my thing. I knew I didn't kill it. Because I walked out of there thinking, oh, they could have partied a little bit harder. But they partied. So I felt as though I did my thing. So as I'm standing there, almost like on cue, his phone rings. So his phone rings and he like, yeah. And he puts it on speaker. Now the guy on the speaker was the guy who wanted to book him.
Right.
But ended up, because he couldn't do it, ended up having me. So because I just gave him this rave review of the whatchamacallit, he put it on speaker and was like, yo, well, how everything turned out? Because him and I thought that this guy was going to agree that I did my thing. Man, when I say this motherfucker told me a whole new asshole, like, man, what the fuck, that bullshit ass DJ me this motherfucker, like, this nigga ain't play no it is, he ain't play no that. And in my mind, I was like, yo, y'all really, somebody just could have came up there and been like, yo, this is what we trying to do, but y'all kind of, but again, nobody knew who I was. I was like a new face on the scene. And so that was kind of like the lowest moment. But I'm a firm believer that there's no such thing as losses. There are always learning experiences. There's never such thing as loss. So I took from that, and I'm like, damn, I ran back the whole night. And when you run it on replay in your mind, you're like, you know what?
Shorty was sitting down.
Shorty, yeah. Shorty, you know what? Shorty was giving me this kind of look. Now, I thought she thought I was cute, but evidently maybe that wasn't it. And so that was probably my lowest moment. I don't know if I have necessarily a singular high moment. I've had way more wins than losses in this game, and I'm at a point in my career where I'm able to kind of dictate what it is that I'm gonna do. I'm kind of like I kind of feel like I'm like at my LeBron James level. You know what I mean? Like you know what? I don't want to play with this team no more. I'm going here, and I'm good. So I don't know if I have any highs that at least stand out. I've had a great time just DJing. I just enjoy the music. I enjoy playing music. I enjoy interacting with people, meeting different people. And I think just if I had to sum it up, my whole career has been high. It's just been one long high.
I work with this guy, so I'm gonna tell you right now. If you ever book for me events, and he start doing this, it's over for you. It's over for you, bitches. Because he about to go in Gully. Go! I call this man a goat.
Do you feel like DJing with the turn of the century has changed? Because back then, DJ was you needed a DJ to have a party. Now it's like you don't really request DJs like that unless like a wedding or something
I don't like
that.
this guy. I don't like this guy.
He light skinned. He's light skinned.
No, I'm joking.
You know what happens with the light skins?
I mean, it's like anything else. You know, it's like anything else. But you know, driving the car is going to change. We're moving into autonomous vehicles. How we listen to music, how we consume music has changed because. You know, if I was to pull out a record to the average kid, not even a record. A kid, some of these kids, they wouldn't even recognize a CD player. I mean, a CD. You know, let alone a tape deck or an 8-track. You know what I mean? Like, so those changes happen. They're happening. But let me tell you, you will always need a DJ.
You'll be surprised. We get calls off for all kinds of stupid shit.
You will always you will always need a DJ. This is just my opinion, and I could be wrong. One day, one day things change, but you will always need a DJ because music consumption changes based on location.
Right.
So, we might a record. I'm gonna give you an example. Gucci on Deck, huge record in Baltimore.
Right.
Huge record. You probably will never hear anywhere else in the country.
Probably. Hell,
In Atlanta.
No, you not even in Atlanta.
I mean, I'm
not saying you won't. You absolutely won't hear it.
I'm just saying it's podcast with that
I'm just
song.
saying it's not. It's not as big a record
right
in Atlanta
as it is here. Yeah, because I started doing the Baltimore two-step and everybody else is standing around.
Yeah, it's
I was like, the beat dropping. Oh, no.
So music changes, and so I don't. You can put together all the algorithms that you want. It will never substitute for someone who's able to look out in the crowd, read the crowd, and be like, you know what? I need auntie and uncle and them on the floor right now. I need to transition and bring the kiddies into this. I need to make everybody feel included in these musical selections.
Right.
And that's when you need the DJ, the facilitator of music to step in and do his thing. His or her thing, because being a new,
his her thing.
And it's a lot of dope female DJs out there. So salute to the lady DJs. But that's when you need a DJ.
All right, so if you've been following us since the beginning, you have always heard E. Grady over here brag and boast on you and shout out
Premier.
I send her a cash app every time.
Premier
It's like, no,
she rich.
For those of us who don't know, explain how this relationship came about.
Our relationship.
We found in Cherry Hill.
Our relationship.
Shut your ass up.
So listen, I met y'all call her what do they call it? April.
Yeah.
I met E. Grady years ago.
2000.
Just years ago. We can leave it at years ago.
Just years
We can leave it at years ago.
You ain't got to tell your age.
Right.
I was 19. I was 19, 20 because I was in the club.
Matter of fact, it wasn't until later when we kind of connected later that I realized, wait a minute.
You wasn't even supposed to be in there.
You wasn't even supposed to be
Shouts out to my
in the club. So I used to DJ at this club called Envy on Thursday nights. Literally at the time, it's like literally the spot, the hottest spot to kind of be on a Thursday night at the time. And her sister and her sister's crew would come in there every week.
You know he met him age. We said crew.
Yeah, this is a
hey, Mimi.
Yeah, Mimi and them. They would come in there, and then so one night they came in and she's like, "Gully, this is my sister," and I was like, "Oh, okay, hey, what's up?" And kind of went back to DJing. So that's kind of like the first time we actually met. And I think we've seen each other a few times over the years, and then shout out to my barber, KB, you did your thing today, son. So years later, you called us.
No, Mimi.
No, Mimi, your sister, her sister called us to DJ a baby shower. When I say us, I'm talking about my partner at the time, a guy named Heavyweight, rest in peace.
Yes.
But so me and Heavyweight, we get there, and when we get there,
and I was like, who the fuck is that with
E. Grady walks up like,
I'm hosting.
I don't know why the fuck he's with
I didn't say that.
Because
I didn't fucking say
that's
that.
not how you said it?
What I said was, hey, Gully, how you doing? Because I ain't know Heavy at the time. How you doing? And just to let y'all know, I'm hosting.
Oh yeah, it was something like that.
And they looked at each other and said, okay.
All I heard was fuck y'all.
Them niggas thought I was bullshit until I showed them.
No one thought. Well, we did.
They looked at each other and they expected. Them niggas pulled out another mic, yo.
Just in case.
They pulled out another mic for me.
Just in case.
Yo.
Just in case.
And I killed that shit.
Because in this business, there are a lot of people who
say they gonna host and they trash.
That and a lot of people, of course, we make it look easy. It's like anybody. You watch basketball on TV. They make it look easy because they professionals. So
just jump over.
A lot of people see what we do and just think it's easy. So she came up and said she hosted. We were like, all right, cool. Like,
right, exactly.
Whatever. Like,
niggas thought I was bold.
Long as the bill get paid. Like, go ahead, do your thing. I like having easy money for us today. Like, all right. So, but she got on the mic and she did her thing. So we was like, so Harry pulled me to the side and was just like, yo, what you think? And I'm like, cool, because I was already saying like, I want to grow the business and I want to
have several MCs.
I want to have a few MCs to kind of complement the DJs that we have, because a lot of the DJs that I was kind of bringing in, I kind of wanted to groom.
Right.
Into how we do things. So she did her thing, and then
Fat Bastard told me, here's our number, give me a call. I called that nigga for a whole week, but he answered me the fuck back. I was in the email, I was in the text messages, I was leaving a nigga voicemail.
Hosting gig.
So because people don't know is, my friends used to have me host their family parties. My family didn't have me host anything, but my friends did. So I had been doing it for a while, and I liked it. So when them niggas took me serious, I was like, shit, I'm ready to try that shit. I'm ready. And like you said, you kind of think that you got it down pat until you actually learn the behind the scenes. That shit is a lot. Like, you got to know counts. You got to be in sync with your DJ. You got to be, like, it's a lot of, like you said, you got to read the room. You got to know what to say. You got to know the type of environment that you in. It's a lot that goes to it. So, understand, MCing is fun, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because I was beating myself up the first couple of events. Like, I don't know.
And see, a lot of people think it's just getting on the mic and talking to a crowd.
Yeah.
Just making motherfuckers laugh.
But really, as a DJ,
at the party, you ain't trying to make nobody laugh.
As a DJ and a host, actually what you're doing is you're managing. You're like literally in real time, you're managing everything that's going on. So I'm managing birthday shout-outs. I'm managing zodiac signs. I'm managing making sure people go to the bar. I'm also managing the temperature of the crowd, because sometimes you want to bring them up, and then they get rowdy. You might see something over here and like, all right, well, let me bring them down a little bit, kind of bring everybody on the even keel. That's how you, for veteran DJs, that's how we minimize incidents at our parties.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of, and there's no knock to the younger DJs, but a lot of younger and inexperienced DJs, they just think to go boom, 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 boom,
back,
and they drop, and the crowd is doing this. The crowd is doing it. Well, it's like a boiling pot. But eventually, it's going to boil over. And then now, boom, you have an incident over here. You have an incident over there. So it's a lot of it's really managing the event. Then also you got to manage expectations, because sometimes the expectation of the person who hired you
not the same as the crowd.
Does not match the expectation of the crowd.
So who do you follow? The person who hired you, or you follow the crowd?
Well, I mean, you figure out how to
make everybody
how to come as close as possible to that line, because it's definitely a line in the sand. It's definitely a line. The person that hired you, they don't want to go a certain way, but the crowd, and that's when sometimes dealing with promoters got to be able to understand their crowds as well.
Right.
You want to have this classy, dressed up affair. You know what I mean? Like, I can't play Pooh Shiesty all night long with people in tuxedos. Now, I mean, I can give them some of it, but it's almost like I gotta balance it out. I gotta keep everything here and try to avoid these massive spikes in the highs and lows. So it's a lot of that goes on. But E. Grady came along, and she started coming out to a bunch of events, and slowly
mind you,
Yeah. All right, we know.
Slowly.
Oh no, I'm gonna be walking into my own funeral. Like, hold on, y'all. Y'all can view me in a minute. Let me get a
Slowly
minute.
but surely, we started allowing her to kind of get more and more comfortable with getting on the mic. And not only that, but also getting acclimated to how we do things. Because that's also part of it. It's part of the product that we present. People can go here, they can go there. I'm as sure as y'all are in this room, y'all know right now, it's a million DJs in Baltimore City. Like you walk between here and the mall, you probably want to bump into about 4 or 5 of them. Like it's a lot of them.
Saturated market.
But with exactly. Because it's a saturated market, what makes you stand out in a saturated market is your process. It's your quality of work. It's those little things that other people tend to forget. It's the showing up on time. It's the being prepared. It's the delivery. It's being fluid and flexible. I mean, we just had a wedding.
She talked about this wedding so many fucking times.
I don't know. It's a lot of weddings, so mind your business, bitch. Let them finish the story.
Go ahead.
You that?
I mean, we just had a wedding where we just had to make adjustments. They told us they was going to have a musician, soloist, and then some guy showed up and he did it. And a lot of times people be like, "Well, why do you charge so much for weddings versus parties?" And it's because I have to be prepared
way more
for a wedding. I had to be prepared because people like to come up. They will book you 6 months in advance, and for whatever reason, they will wait till the day of and say, "Hey, I got somebody. Did you bring another mic? Because I got somebody performing." I'm like, well,
you didn't tell me. 6 months.
You don't think you should have been told me that so I could, But
I'm sure you didn't just book this nigga yesterday.
Exactly. But the expectation is, that's the DJ, that's the person. Because let me tell you something. When the music cuts off, nobody else in the room matters but the DJ. It could cut off because the building on fire. Somebody gonna say, "Yo, the DJ bullshit, yo. What the fuck happened to the music, yo?"
They ain't even gotta say bullshit. The first thing that really come on is, "Yo,
Yeah.
what's going on, DJ?"
Definitely.
I don't smell that shit.
A nigga get a speaker and a fucking iPod and play the right mix. Oh, DJ is instantly in his bio on Instagram.
Like you said, DJ now.
It has been.
Do you have a drop?
I know. Yes.
What's your drop?
What you mean? Do I have a
like
a phrase? Like a phrase.
When your music starts, you have a drop. And they're like, "Oh, I know what this is."
Oh no! I mean,
No.
my joint is basic. I don't really.
Okay, old school.
I don't. Again,
His favorite little drop thing is dun 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 dun, like he will do that shit if a fat bitch fall. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna play that fucking when you lose the
Price is
Right drop, yo. That is that nigga favorite one. If you
I was at a crab feast.
Shit.
And a little kid ran across and tripped and fell and slid across the floor.
That nigga will play that drop.
I cut the music with like dun 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 dun, and then I was like, safe.
Or it's on Fridays. Damn, he will play that if a thick bitch walk by. I'm not. Listen, if you know you thick, fuck that. Listen, bitch, if he play that, it's because you thick, bitch, and we watching. We watching.
Just in case any of you out there got life insurance policy on me, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I don't do that.
Well,
I don't play damn. I don't play nothing.
I'll be looking. I'll be looking.
If a fat ass walk by, I just say, thank God I am the man that I am.
Bitch across the room.
And I,
He like, God
and
bless you, my sister.
I can't wait to get home.
God bless you.
I can't wait to get home to my family. That's what. Just in case person out there listening got life insurance policy on me. That's what I do.
That's what I go home to my.
Y'all relationship is super organic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Y'all too.
Yeah.
Listen, that's Jesus.
It's my sister.
That's Jesus, man.
This
man gave me a chance, and I ain't gonna lie. I tell people all the time, don't play with him, and he don't play about me. So understand, nigga. We would stand up at the same time at a party. What happened?
Yeah, we don't fuck around. That's one thing I don't play about. Like we roll. Like sometimes people will call and they, like you can't call and think that you want to be rude to her because you want to talk to me and think I'm gonna be okay with that because that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not how we do. Like, nah, like who? So and so called me. Fuck that motherfucker. This motherfucker said they want to speak to you, Gully. Man, fuck that nigga. Real talk, because you can't disrespect. You can't disrespect a member of the team and think I'm gonna be okay with that because that's not cool. I don't disrespect this woman here. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna allow somebody else to disrespect her. You know what I mean? And it goes beyond that because it's just with, anybody on the squad. I'm not gonna, if I feel like something ain't right, then I kind of feel by being kind of like the head of the operation and also being the oldest, I kind of feel I feel a certain level of responsibility.
Right.
Appreciate you for being here. I normally know this nigga.
I mean, but all jokes aside, this nigga and Heavyweight is the ones who gave me the name. So shouts out to them, cause them niggas was like, hold on, Brady, you what? You how old? So that means, oh, you a baby then? Then it was like, E-Grade the baby. And it was like, all right.
Baby. You like, how old are you? Oh, you're a fucking baby.
What? Oh, okay.
He's like, I done slam my leg.
You can mind your motherfucking business here. Nah, I mean, it's been very fun, and I've been learning a lot from these guys, man. Again, recipes to Heavyweight. But I've learned a lot from both of them. So,
but it's been a fun. I've seen some crazy shit.
And that was about to be my next question. Like, what is the craziest thing you've seen at an event?
The craziest. I mean, I kind of got several. That's kind of like right here. You was around for one of them. You was around. Matter of fact, I think the one when we was at the wedding and the groom had to go out with the brother, the one who dropped the mic. And I almost forgot I was at a wedding.
You dropped your mic?
This nigga up.
That nigga said, so the mics was going in and out for some strange reason. I think it was the battery. But the mic was going in and out, so as I'm trying to change the battery, he like, oh, I want to say something. It wasn't in the itinerary, just out of spontaneous. So I'm like, hold on, let me change. So this nigga like, no, let him go ahead.
Yeah,
so I was like, all right.
Let him go ahead.
I was like, just trying to change the battery.
Because I'm thinking he want to say something. I'm really.
We didn't know he was really inebriated like that, though. He didn't look like that.
I really was thinking he was going to say just something quick. I mean, matter of fact, it came on the heels of the Reverend blessing the food.
Right.
So I'm like, well, it can't be that much you're going to say. This dude went into a full-on speech that I thought was going to go left because he started off the speech talking about how much he loved the bride. Like, wait a minute. Sheesh. Like, oh, no. Like, what's going on here? And then he kind of cleared it up by saying, he basically loved the bride because he loved his brother who loves the bride. So it's like, kind of a weird way to go, but whatever.
But the mic was going in and out, so he got pissed.
He came back to hand me the mic, and I reaced out my hand to grab the mic.
That ain't even how it was. It was already aggressive. He said, I don't need no motherfucking mic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue.
I knew it was about to go left, though. Like, I knew it.
I ain't had no issue with
it. I didn't think he was going to drop that bitch the way he did. That motherfucker dropped the mic like, damn.
Yeah, I had my hand out like this. So it was almost like I had my hand out.
Get it.
I had my hand out like, please, sir, one some more. That's how I had my hand out. Like, please, another bowl of soup. And he just like straight dropped the mic. So I really couldn't believe because the last person to drop one of my mics, and it was almost a situation, was Scooter, Lil Scooter, rest in peace. Lil Scooter, I don't know where the fuck he seen this shit, but Lil Scooter dropped one of my mics. We was doing the show together down at the on Howard, the Cultural Center. And this is when Bird Flu was just blowing up. And so, and when he got done, this motherfucker, well, I almost say motherfucker.
Can't say motherfucking name. You can't say motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dropped his mic.
Yeah, he dropped my mic. You know what I'm saying?
On purpose?
Because at that time, I think that's when everybody was like, drop mic.
He thought he was Randy Watkins.
Right.
From Coming to America. That's who he thought he was, and he dropped my mic. And so that was like, that was an issue. But yeah, this guy dropped the mic, and then the groom, him and another groomsman got into it. Him and another groomsman got into it, and they had to leave out. They had to leave out. Now, here's the funny part about them leaving out. Imagine there's a wall across here, but it's all glass. And when you're on the outside of the glass, you can't see in, but all of us on the inside can see out.
So we see you.
So we see the whole tussling and back and forth that's going on out there. And then one groomsman come back, grab his lady by the hand and walks her out and walks and just leaves. She's like, oh, what the fuck? But she needed, well, you know, I ain't gonna.
Don't talk about the toes.
Yeah, she had hands where her feet should be. That's what she had.
Hands, fingers,
like
toes.
if she with my toes, they look like this. But that was an incident. So then one time, oh man, it's so many incidents. One time we had a guy. He called himself. He gets in. So the girl comes to the event. She brings her coworker.
Oh shit!
To an event that her. She brings. She brings her coworker.
The nigga, the air quotes told me how the story goes.
To an event that her baby father is at. So the baby father, at the end of the night, them two get into it, and he literally mushes her like into the bushes.
Ain't nothing to
and so the coworker, he pulls up, and the coworker gets off the car. Now the coworker, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'9". Baby father, easily 6'2", 6'3". Coworker gotta be like 5'6", 5'4", shorter than me. He jumps out. Oh, he jumps out.
I like the way this story going on.
He jumps out the truck, right? He jumps out his truck. He dropped like a little Suzu Rodeo. So if you don't know the Suzu Rodeo is one of them old SUVs where instead of lifting the whole lift gate, you can open the glass. You can pop the glass open. So he gets out. He pulls up. So me and Heavy standing there, we watching. He pulls up, he pops the glass, he gets out, he runs to the back, he pops the glass, and then like whatever he was digging it was so deep in his trunk that his feet came off the ground. So he like digging in his trunk. So me and Heavy looking and we backpedaling. Because we know Heavy from down the hill. I'm from Cherry Hill. When the niggas start going in his trunk, this is what we thinking. This motherfucker pulled out a fucking tool. And by tool, I mean a fucking ratchet. The shit that you... He pulled one of those out the trunk, went after the dude, and the dude, like clearly, like how you sung your little brother or something like that, just clearly just like grabbed him and threw him in the bushes. And it was just like...
This episode called
So Happy looked at me and Happy was like, yo, should we get involved? I'm like, I got a family to go home with. I'm not getting involved in that shit. She ain't my, she ain't my woman. Like, fuck it.
Oh, this episode is called Two Bitches in the Bushes.
That was the incident.
That nigga, that's definitely the episode.
That's the episode name.
That was an incident. And, I mean, man, I got so many crazy shit. I had one shit where, a bride got left at the altar. I even had a groom get left at the altar. And I tell anybody...
What song you play after that?
A bride getting left at... well, I'm not going to say left at the... When I say left at the altar, they didn't like come there and leave. They just didn't show up. Now,
Same damn thing.
Same shit.
Nah, I mean, I just want to clarify.
Listen, our intention was to meet at that motherfucker and we didn't.
Right.
You left me like that.
Right. So I tell anybody, a bride getting left at the altar is sad.
Yeah.
A groom
That's just
getting left is the fucking worst thing. Yeah, because you're watching a grown man go through a range of emotions. That's just live in person, in real time. You watching this happen, and there's just like it's just like, oh man, like what in the world could you have done for this to happen? And it was just a sad state of affairs, man. But in both situations, I still had the DJ because these people was like, we paid you, so Just don't play no love songs. Don't play no sad songs. And I'm just like, all right, well, fuck it.
Who shiesty?
You just play some club music. Like,
You got fuck that bitch in your turntables over there. Go wait a minute.
He's like, you know, play some
Fuck that bitch, man.
man, it's been crazy. It's some crazy stories I got.
All right, so y'all know after the business, we go straight into.
First of all, that was the longest business segment we have ever had.
ain't never went.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
My corner
Hey, yo.
still gets done.
Yeah.
And here is love, sex, and magic
Get a corner.
from your girl.
When the fuck did you have a corner?
If y'all two don't shut the fuck
All
up,
right, go ahead.
it is love, sex, and magic time.
Magic.
Magic.
So
listen, I ain't
finding
finding-
up her ad libs, man.
Leave him alone. Shit, that's Trina Braxton. And
First of all, he get one goddamn haircut.
That's not
Look,
good.
he got one distressed knee. He ain't in the jeans. He got one distressed knee, and now he think he cute.
Y'all is
All
showing
right.
off in front of company. Y'all is showing off.
He look right at his knee too.
I got on shorts.
Go
ahead, bro. Do your segment.
Let's shut her up.
Alright, go ahead.
Y'all is showing off, and I don't like it. It's normally me. So anyway, I didn't find any Instagram posts, but however, we're gonna go into something that I've been seeing recently about a post that says, "Oh, you really gonna get married and sleep with the same person every night?" And the post is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sleep with him, and I'm gonna fuss with him, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this." So, how do you guys feel about marriage?
Let me do it, please.
Go ahead, you can start with you.
Yes, sir. I bet. We
know you don't like marriage.
So
You don't
I've
like
been married
relationships.
before. And you know what I mean?
It was 2 days.
It was 2 years.
2 nipples.
God, why is you mad? You was sneaking in the clubs. All right, so let me say my
Mind your
story.
business.
I say with that, now that can go one or two ways. If it's a man who hasn't had a lot of sex and he deals with an experienced woman, he don't necessarily need to ever fuck nobody else again because he's got an experienced person. So he's going to be good. Now,
So marriage is more so about sex.
No, but you say just dealing with one person, sleeping with one person for the rest of your life.
But that's what the post basically saying. Like, they was just like, with marriage, yes, I want to sleep with the same person every night. Yes, I want to fuss with the same person every day. Yes, it was like celebrating all the...
No, it's no possible way. I can love the hell out of my lady. I'm not going to be like, damn, I can't wait to go home and fuss with you. No.
I can read it to you because you...
Not wanting to, nigga.
I can't.
It was just celebrating, like, basically the synopsis of marriage, basically.
If that's a synopsis, I don't want the book. I don't.
Well, you was married for 2 months, so you should.
But nobody ever married you, though.
They sure did that one. I
know.
So listen, it say if you're in a relationship. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry.
Go, look.
It say someone asked me, you really want to get married and have sex with the same person for the rest of your life? Hell fucking yeah. Have sex, argue with, sleep with, prosper with, become successful with, yes, with no hesitation. That's what they're supposed to say.
Oh, well, if you're saying that.
So that was basically the synopsis.
Oh, you just saying the synopsis of that shit is, do I want to go through life's trials and tribulations, ups and downs with one motherfucking person?
Yeah.
I mean, we can divvy in and out, but overall, yeah, I'm with that. Yeah.
Divvy in and out?
No.
Yeah, I'm a divvy in and out. Yeah.
So do you want to open marriage?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, yeah, I'm cool with going through my life with one individual. I'm 100%.
But do you want to marry the person?
It literally sounds like an open marriage.
Yes.
I'm cool. I like everything on there. The only thing I'm not with.
Listen.
The only thing I'm not with in that list is fucking the same woman. That's it. Everything else I'm with. But I can't just have. Now, if you're an older gentleman,
like a bunch of people.
Now, this is where I pause. Now, this is why I said that. Now, if you're an older gentleman, I'm cool. When I get older, I might be like, you know what? I'm good with this.
You still gonna be a
I don't need to do that. But for me to sit here and say that I'm just going to sleep with one woman the rest of my life, we ain't going to spice it up the rest of my fucking life. I'm 27, so that means all my 20s. All my 30s.
Nigga, you ain't got that many.
I was gonna say 20 is done.
All right, well, shut the fuck up. The rest of my 20s, all of my 30s, all of my 40s, same pussy. How many times you gonna do that trick?
She can change her wig up and switch positions.
I'll put the wig on me, but I won't.
It's a different bitch.
I can't.
I'm just saying, it's a different bitch.
If y'all listen to the show,
that's a lie women tell themselves. But
yes,
it's the same bitch.
If y'all listen to the show and don't look at it, y'all listen. Gully Face told a story.
Watch it on YouTube.
Please watch it on YouTube.
How do you feel about it, Grady?
No, I asked the question.
So yeah, let's get Gully's interpretation.
Yeah.
Gully!
First of all, you got a wife?
Gully!
Or
What you got, Gully? Explain, babe. That's my book. I love her.
This is going to be the clip, by the way.
Listen.
It's the clip.
I'm going to go on a limb and say this. No man wants, no man wants to be, no man deep down inside wants to be with one woman for the rest of his life.
Thank you.
Who did?
He used to cheat.
Used to?
Oh my Lord.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to tell you.
I was a kid.
No, I'm 16. I was 16.
He did.
Say
I'd rather just be single.
You did what? You just say that again?
When the last time I cheated on somebody, I was 16 years old.
Okay. And you
But
said
you
you would rather.
You
You said you would just rather be single.
Yeah,
Right?
if I feel at a point where I need to cheat on you, then I'd rather just be single.
Okay.
And he been with the same woman for like a long time.
Yeah.
What's a long time?
8 years.
8 years. Oh, that's
Decent.
That's a
almost
decent
it.
amount of time.
How long y'all been together?
It's 2021.
How long you and baby been
8
together?
years. 8 years.
How long y'all been together?
Yo, what year y'all met?
It's like elementary school, but we've been together since for 8 years.
But 8 years. I'm saying, what year did y'all make it official? What year was that?
8 years ago.
I mean,
So,
I sit here and do math.
13.
All right, it's 2013. Okay, 2013. The state of the world. Okay, all right. I'm just thinking about some things. 2013. We was in Obama. All right, shit was good. Okay, all right, cool. I can see you thinking like that. I can see you feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling like that. Okay. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Put his ass.
But it's okay to feel that way. Now, I think that in every relationship, there comes a point where, as a man, you weigh your goods, and your bads. You weigh the good versus the bad. Now, depending on where that pendulum falls for you as a person, as an individual, and also depends on what do you weigh heavily in your relationship, because with my 80-20 is not going to be the same as your 80-20, not going to be the same as your 80-20. You know what I mean? Because we're men, we all have different needs. So where you might be good sexually, you know what I'm saying? She might have fucked up credit. She might not pay her bills on time. That might be an issue for you. Whereas she don't have to pay her bills on time, but she dropped me like it's hot. Every fucking every 3 to 4 hours.
He's talking his love language.
Right.
That's trying to the answer.
She dropped me like it's hot, and then she bring a friend with her.
Shit right there. See, Gus, you know you already.
Where's she at? The spirit took you to the right side of the room when you said that right there.
No, so here's my thing.
No, I will say there was a time where we weren't committed to each other and I was a straight hoe, but that's
now okay. There was a time when you wasn't committed to him, right? And you said you was a straight hoe. Why?
I was free to do what I wanted to do.
You wanted to.
Okay, so that means you what? You wanted to do what it was that you wanted to do. Not saying that changed, but you kind of reached a point and like, oh shit, I got this woman in my life. She's not worth the loss. And so you made that assessment. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Deep down inside, I truly believe no man really wants to be with one woman. I just kind of feel like it's a society.
I like this man.
I feel like it's a society.
Yes, sir.
I think we've lived in a society where monogamy has been perpetuated to such an insane degree that to think outside of monogamy means to go against not only the way you were raised socially, but the way you was raised religiously and spiritually, and because of the country that we live in, the way that you were raised legally.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to be married.
But I kind of feel like at the end of the day, if we lived in a society that was way more accepting of polyamorous relationships and polygamy and things like that, I really feel as though, there would be less cheating, less divorce. I feel as though people would be in more healthier situations, because that would create a scenario where a man can truly be a little bit more honest about what he wants out of a relationship. You know what I mean? So that's not to say that there aren't some men out there who prefer monogamy or prefer to be with that one woman. I think they're really the minority. I think the rest of the men. I think the rest of the men out there are settling, and they settle. They settle based off the fact that hey, they settle for a number of reasons. Whether it's religious, whether it's social, whether it's just like, you know what, I don't want to lose this woman, and I know that her current makeup of who she is as a person will not allow for me to have another person in this relationship. But I would challenge all the women out there, all of y'all that got a man in your life, and you really, really believe that he is all about you, that he is satisfied, you are numero uno. Go ask him how you would feel if you were to bring another person into your relationship and see how that work out. And don't, the first couple times he's going to be hesitant, like, is this a joke? No, this is a setup. Let it ride a little bit. Let it ride. And I assure you, as long as my name is Dennis Gilmore Jr., I assure you, he will eventually cave and even begin to start to consider the possibility of having another woman and having multiple women in a relationship, which would be a polygamous relationship.
That's a fact. Well, off of what you were saying,
but that's just my opinion.
I appreciate the fact we have a DJ on the show, so that way we ain't got to keep talking, speaking to the mic. We ain't got the whole time Gully was talking. He sit back, come back to the mic. He already there. We ain't gotta.
Cause he got a mic presence. Everybody else don't have mic presence.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree a lot. But this is why I agree when he was saying, if you take out
the whole time saying this nigga is preaching to
if you take out infidelity out of relationships, a lot of relationships would work. Because that's why most relationships don't work. It's infidelity. But if you say, all right, if he did cheat on you, then what? Oh, he's the perfect man. Or she's the perfect woman.
I'm going to say this. If y'all don't mind me saying, I'm going to say this. We live in a world. Let me sit up for a second. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's mine. We live in a world where, as a society, women have evolved into wonderful things. They can do it all. I will never sit there. I have 4 daughters. I would never sit there and say, I would never sit there and minimize or degrade the contributions of women in our society. I just can't do it. But women, society has allowed a lot of women to live in a false perception of what their worth is in terms of relationships. A lot of women have come to believe that they are the end-all, be-all when it comes to relationships, which is not only false, but is really unfair to men. It's just that on the flip side, men, we've done so much fucked up shit, excuse my language, we've done so much fucked up shit to women over the years, is that there's no balance. So it's like it's over. We tend to overcompensate for the fucked up shit that we've done to women over the years, and now we're kind of at this place where it's like, I mean, you can go on social media all day long. It's what he going to do for me? Is he going to pay half my bills?
Yes.
Is he going to do this? And I'm not saying a woman is wrong for feeling that way, but some of y'all are not even worth that.
That is true. I agree with that part.
And again, I'm not. This is in no shape, form, or fashion am I trying to minimize, degrade, or speak down on women, because I love women. And let me tell you, I'm like Fife Dog. I like them brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. I love women. I love women in all shapes, forms, and fashions. Like, I just love y'all. Y'all beautiful. God was on his A game when he created y'all. You know, y'all stretch, y'all grip, y'all adorable. I love it.
Motherfucker. That's
you're
true.
durable. That's the name of the episode. You stretch your grip, you're durable.
Hey, so I don't, I love
the bushes don't mean no same no more.
I love everything about women, and I for sure love our black women. But to get back to what we originally talked about, do I believe in marriage? Yes, I believe in marriage.
Will you
I don't
get
think
married
he
one
ever
day?
asked you, do you believe in marriage?
Will you get married one day?
Will I get married one day? Well, I was married before, so
I know. Again.
Will I get married? Yes. One day I will get married again. Hopefully.
Soon.
And I'm not this ain't no secret, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no secret. Hopefully,
Soon.
my wife to be understands the magnitude of man that she has, in which that she can be secure within herself as a woman. As to every now and then to invite another woman.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
To
He's
come
speaking my language. I like this man.
in our sexual experiences. Now, where I do draw the line, and where I think most people should draw the
I'm
line,
not drawing the line.
I would never, ever allow for my wife to I would never ever allow for my wife to invite another woman into our marital bed.
What? Wait.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I was gonna say a man.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Say him.
I'm
You saying marital bed?
Like my marital bed, like
okay.
Once they married.
I'm saying where we
Oh, yeah, you just don't bring it home. Yeah.
Nah, I would never under no circumstances allow that. We can go get a room.
I respect that.
I would never, because I feel as though as a man, especially if y'all have children at home, as a man, you are the king of your castle, and your castle is, especially for a black man, your home is your most sacred.
That's why we call it the crib.
In your safest space, because not only is your strength there, your woman, but your vulnerabilities lie there as well, your family. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm all for loving who you want to love. I'm all for loving as many people as you want to love. I support all of that, whether that's same sex, opposite sex, transgender relationships. I support all of that. However, for me, there are still certain lines and things that I draw, and I believe that it's because it's vital for a man to honor and respect certain boundaries as it pertains to not just his wife, but as his family. When I leave out the door and I leave my family, a lot of times I'm leaving for the weekend, or not necessarily for the weekend, but I'm leaving to go spend, go make money or whatever it be. So I spend more time out in the streets by virtue of my businesses than I probably do at home.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when I come home, I'm leaving it all on the highway. I'm leaving it out there. And when I come home, that's my safe space. I want to come home. I want to rest. If I want to listen to music, I want to talk to my kids. I need my kids to understand the values that I'm trying to bring forth into fruition through my family. And I think a lot of times, that's that kind of that. And even though I'm with you and I know where you at,
okay,
and I know where you at, I think that's something that as you get older, and I don't know if you have children or not, but you got a girl. You know what I'm saying? But I think as you get older, and as you watch your daughter get old, because that's going to play a part. Now, mind you, I have 4 girls, 22, 19, 22, my son is 19, 18, 17, and 11. So my girls are at like 3 distinct stages of life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I can kind of see, having my first child at 19, having my last child at 29, I can kind of see how my actions as a man and as a father has played out through my daughters and how they respond to relationships. So we can have fun, we can play, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you get to that level, you still got to be mindful of who's watching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know how many times as a father of a daughter, of a girl, that I sat and thought and cried.
You got a girl too?
Yeah, my
girl dad's up in this bitch.
So as we're having my daughter, I'm not literally crying, but to myself wanted to cry. I was like, damn, I done done some nasty shit to somebody's daughter. And there's gonna be a time where there's gonna be a nigga to do some nasty shit to my daughter. I'm like,
and you gotta live with it. And you gotta live with it.
But I think the same thing. My daughter's 14, and I think the same thing. Like, eventually, she's about to have sex.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, I'm gonna tell you the difference is. I'm gonna tell you the difference, the fundamental difference from being a mother of a girl versus a father of a girl. See, you know the things as a woman you were receptive to doing. Whether that was because you felt as though you was in love or whatever it was, or you just wanted to do it. You know those things, right? But what you don't know is the mindset of the man or boy who was on the other side of the things that you did.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So we as men, we fundamentally understand it because not every woman is wifey material. We get that. And so, and I'm sure every man in this room can attest to the fact that you treat women differently. I mean, and look, y'all can argue in the comments. Y'all can be upset about it. Y'all can, but this is pure fact. This is pure fact. Whether you like it, whatever, it's pure fact that you know, we as men treat women differently based on how we view them.
Yes.
If I meet a woman on Tuesday and she asking me for $25, $30 by Friday, that's got the $40 to suck my dick vibe. That's what she's. That's what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if I see a girl over here, she going to school, she completed the school,
I'm more willing to give her $40.
I'm not shit. Fuck $40. I might, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take her out to dinner. I'm gonna invest my time and energy in this woman because my perception of her is different. She may just be as nasty as the $40.
That's true.
A $40 woman. And so, because of that, we as men, we know how other men eventually will view and treat our daughters, and that's what fucks with you. Mm-hmm. That's what fucks with you because I swear on everything. If a nigga do to my daughter some of the shit that I've done to some of these women out here in these nigga, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kill somebody and then I'm gonna die. Somebody gonna have to die.
Yeah, we can get some shiesty shit.
What? I mean,
shiesty shit.
That's
my dog.
I mean, yeah, and so that's what it is, man. And like, you know, me, you know, I'm proud of the age I am. I'm 41 years of age. Hopefully, everybody will be in agreement that I don't look 41 years of age. However, I am 41 years of age. I have grown kids. At this point, you know, my oldest 3 kids just came back from Miami. They went down there, and as a father, I sat around worried. I was worried about my kids. Mm-hmm. And even though I knew, you know, they good, they old enough, I still worried because in my mind is always, what if whatever happens and I'm here and they're there and I can't get to them.
That sounds like my father.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, yeah, like, you know, you always got to be mindful of what we're showing to the next generation because it's only going to get fucked up.
Yes,
it really is.
So y'all think this is like a big deal what he's doing right now and what he's saying? I understand some of y'all don't have Facebook, but if you have Facebook, please follow Gully Gilmore on Facebook. He's always starting shit. Oh, yeah. And he says shit like this all the time just to get the crowd all ruffled and conversations popping. Yeah.
You know what I like to do? I like to get people to just think about it. Just think about what I'm saying to you. I'm pull up something that this let me do that. I'm gonna give y'all one right now. I'm gonna give y'all one right now that I was thinking about one day as I was taking my morning shit. This is what I was thinking about.
That'd be the most inspirational.
Okay, so everybody take more than shits.
What? So here's the thing. And I'm probably going to get any of my spiritual, religious people are probably going to be bothered when I say this. But if you study Christianity, right, and you read the Bible, and in the Bible it says that Jesus, Son of God, was the sacrificial lamb to save all of our sins, right? Now, it's not my intent to be blasphemous. However, one particular morning, I don't know why, I was just thinking about that. No, I actually do know why. It's because it's a television show about to come on about the life of Jesus, and I was watching that, and it made me think about it. And I thought, well, according to how I was raised to think spiritually, Jesus is the Son of God, but is God himself. All right?
Getting deep.
You know what I'm saying? And God, and at this point, correct me if I'm saying anything wrong. And God created everything.
Right.
So God created the heavens, created earth, created hell, created the devil, created humans. Why did Jesus need to be sacrificed again?
He didn't need to be.
He could choose
anybody.
Again, I'm not trying to speak against nobody. This is just a thought of mine. It was like, wait a minute. God created.
Don't whoop my ass for this, please.
God created everything, and I'm not trying to turn the direction of the podcast because that's
no. We like it. Go.
But I'm just expressing some of the things that sometimes go through my mind. Like, okay, well, if you create all these things, and then why did Jesus need to be sacrificed? The mere thought. Now, I don't sit here. I don't profess to know everything. I don't know the answer. I'm not a religious scholar. There may be some type of religious text that may explain all of this that I'm just not aware of. But I'm just using that as an example of something that I literally thought about just the other morning as I was taking my morning shit.
And that was the morning shit. Okay, so what was you doing this when you created this one? I don't know what it's called, but I like that makeup trick some women do that make it look like they got vitiligo around their eyes.
Oh.
Oh shit.
What the fuck was you doing when you was thinking about that? How motherfucker?
Because, okay, alright.
Vitiligo around the eyes.
We all be on social media, right? And I'm sure everybody in this room can say they've seen a picture of someone who had their face made up. And for whatever reason, all of this is just lighter than the rest of their face. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly what you're talking about.
All right, but now, then they took it a step, so that's one thing. But then they took it a step further of putting like a white line around the eyes. Like, remember that? Remember the white line around the eyes?
What you talking about?
White eyeliner.
Yeah, the white eyeliner.
Yes.
So the funny thing about that post was I was not trying to be an asshole. I really, really liked it. I just had no other way of describing that I liked it. Like, I like on certain people, the whole vitiligo around the eye thing looks good. You know what I'm saying? You know.
There's that one phrase that you got where you don't know exactly what you're trying to say, but you know how to describe it. Where everybody going to pick up on it like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
And so everybody came on the post thinking I was being an asshole. When really, I wasn't being an asshole. I just seen a picture and I just didn't know what it was called. So I described it as best I could.
Okay.
As assholes, we never think we're being assholes. We really being genuine and people perceive it as being
like, what else do you call it? It looked like vitiligo around the eyes. Like, do it not look like vitiligo? When I said vitiligo around the eyes, everybody in the room, my man over here even said, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
His sister is Shauna. So, you know.
Oh, okay, well, hey. Vitiligo around the eyes.
That's why he got it. Like, hey, nigga, I know what you're saying.
Exactly. Let me ask you this. Was I inaccurate in the description?
No, you wasn't.
Oh, thank you. It was, but I liked it. On some women, I really liked it.
Oh, shit.
On some women, the rest of them, like,
all right.
All you bitches can't pull off.
That trust me. When I'm DJing, woo, You see some bad makeup jobs out there, like, girl, I wouldn't even fuck your face if you asked me.
God damn.
If he go. Anything for Kawan's Corner. I mean, whatever.
Before we get to the
Virgo's
slutty
Corner.
side.
No, we can go slutty first. We can end it.
We'll go slutty first.
Oh, I like this podcast.
Woo! Alright, so this is what we going at on the slutty side of today.
Sheesh.
On the whole down.
This is called The Hoedown. And on the Hoedown,
Yeah.
you gotta give us a story to where you were out, doing your thing, and the shit did not go where you planned it to go. You was the hoe, that was down.
That was
1997.
What the fuck? This thing always got
My
dates.
little brother was
They
born.
get on my
You
nerves.
love the 90s.
1997. I was
The
17
best part
years.
of the
I was
whole
17
goddamn
years of age.
Existence of the world.
And I was working at the airport. And when I was working at the airport, two of the young ladies that worked at the airport lived in Sedonia. And at this time, my car wasn't down. And I caught the number 5. And I went to go see one. Fucked her. And dirty dipped it to the next one.
Oh!
Didn't even
wash it?
Didn't even wash it. Nothing. Just
So you gave us BB.
I was sad.
To the bathroom when
I
you got the next one.
I probably did give her.
You gave her BB.
I probably gave her a bacterial infection and shit. I probably did. But I was 17. Well, then again, I probably didn't because the next one I went to, she was older, right? She was older,
So she
and
went
because she was older, she was heavy in the anal sex. So we get into what we was doing, and I'm fucking up, and then she this
I don't
thing.
know why you
First of all, this is the
lying.
90s. Y'all didn't have
This
lube
thing,
in the 90s.
So I'm fucking up. No, shit. We didn't need no fucking lube. I mean, this was fucking. I fucking showed up drunk and fucking.
With SpongeBob
just
saying,
went
I'm Dirty Dan. I'm Dirty Dan.
So I'm weighing her ass out. I'm like, bow, bow, bow. I'm 17.
Standing like a horse.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm you see that Michael Jackson meme? Like, I'm all in it. I'm all in it. You could beat a fucking drum to my motherfucking rhythm in that motherfucker. And so she gets on top, right? So she says, my stomach start hurting, and she hops up off my dick. And when she hops off my dick, shit fell all of her ass all on my stomach.
She shit
All
on this.
all on this, like I had like a cream colored shirt on. All on my shirt.
That's
Shit
what
on my
the fuck you
shirt.
deserve.
And she got off and she ran to the bathroom. She didn't even realize it happened. You know what I mean? So, like, she got up and she walked to the, and I was about to look at my shirt like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You dirty bitch. I cussed this girl out and everything. I took my shirt off.
But your dick had shit on it.
I took my shirt off. I fucking threw the shirt and shit. And so she came back. She was apologetic or whatever. I mean, shit. I hope she don't see this podcast, but whatever.
We don't know it's her.
It was over 20 years ago, so
We don't know
yeah.
it's
So
her.
she came out. She was apologetic. She wrote me. And then she gave me her boyfriend. She gave me like a shirt her boyfriend had left at the house for me to wear to get up out of there.
She ain't shit for that.
So,
And she was full of shit already.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That was probably.
but ho. So, she was dirty for putting shit on your chest, but you wasn't dirty for raw dicking her in the ass, right?
Oh, no, I'm not saying I wasn't dirty for that. I'm just saying I was 17.
God, that's a
dumb.
whole down.
I mean, I told you off the bat. I dirty dicked her. Like, I mean,
I ain't had that part.
I dirty dicked her. I dirty dicked her, and yeah, that's what it was.
What about you?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's something about seeing shit come out of ass that's weird.
No, let me tell you something. It's worse when you've been fucking ramming the fucking ass, because it's like you was fucking. It's like you fucking stirring this shit up, and so when it come out, it got a whole different texture to it. Like it's something you'll never.
And then you imagine this shit.
It's something you'll never forget. Trust me.
I'm never gonna forget this goddamn episode. I'll tell you this shit.
It's something you never forget.
This shit is unforgettable.
Oh, God.
All right,
This
Virgo.
is definitely an episode my kids can't listen to. God.
Oh yeah.
They need to mind their business.
Nobody cares to probably listen to this.
Virgo, what's in your corner?
I think I'm just. I'm gonna have to think about this one.
This your motherfucking segment.
Give me a second.
I know who the ass whip.
Gully is motherfucking ass for today. Shit.
No women in the 90s, shit. Harry the
All
John.
right, so.
No. That was the 80s. Harry was early 90s. By like 95, 96, they started getting it together.
Yeah, so, over here in Virgo's corner, we like to know who need their ass whooped, Gully. So, the point of this is,
Oh shit.
there's a lot of shit going on in the world. You know, you got motherfuckers doing PPP fraud, and you got motherfuckers doing all types of shit that they ain't got no goddamn business to act like they ain't got no home training. You know, us as African American folk, we ain't afraid of ass whoopings because we've been getting them our whole lives.
Right.
Who need their ass whooping? Like your grandmother back North Carolina ass whooping. Go outside and get me a switch.
Who need that ass whooping? This is like pop culture.
It can be anybody.
Anybody. You
know,
met this motherfucker yesterday on the way in here.
It can be a promoter. It can be another fucking DJ. It's your bitch ass.
Anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Who need their ass whipped? Shit, there's a lot of people need their ass whipped. And I'm not even talking about the grandmother back, you know, I'm not even talking about the grandmother in North Carolina country ass whipping. I'm talking about catch her in the back alley with a motherfucker.
Yeah, hey, listen.
You
You
know,
need
the
that
ranch.
ass whooping too. If they need an ass whooping, they need an ass whooping. I was just trying to give you reference.
You know who need their ass whipped? And somebody probably may have said this already, but that motherfucking can I do two people?
Sure.
The first person I'm gonna do is fucking that goddamn Derrick Jackson. Need his monkey ass whooped.
Why you don't like Derrick?
Then I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why he need his ass whipped. He don't need his ass whipped for cheating on his wife.
Right.
I won't hold that against him.
Right.
I've cheated before.
Shit happens.
I won't hold it. Things happen sometimes. What he need his ass whipped for is for. See, one thing my father always told me, rest in peace, my pops. One thing my father always told me is that no matter what you do in this world, you protect home.
Always.
And if you get jammed out here in the streets, shit happens. You get jammed up. But when I look and I seen that he put his woman on that
God. What is this? And he said she was one of God's soldiers.
and paraded her
That rehearsed
in front of
She
everybody.
said that just like
That was me. That to me was
the lowest of
the knife between the second and third rib, stab, twist, and a
pull
pull.
out.
That's what that was. And what he did to his wife is just. I mean, as y'all can probably already understand that I take marriage very seriously.
Right.
And I think it's a sacred thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that at all times, I think men don't always understand how much stronger we are because of our women. But I also feel as though we have undoubtedly a responsibility, even when we fuck up, to protect our woman from certain things. We might not always do that. We might not always accomplish that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I seen that man sit his woman on the couch,
Nobody knew who his wife was until then.
Yeah.
right, and parade her in front of everybody to show that she was accepting or she had forgiven, whatever the case may be. That's when he needed his ass whipped. That's when if he was my son, he was my son, my flesh and blood, and I say that shit while he was on live. I'd have stopped what I was doing. I'd have got my motherfucking
house
car,
all live.
and I would drove to his house. I would have beat the shit out of him.
Derrick Jackson getting fucking beat on live.
God.
That's number one.
That's a million.
Shit.
The other person who need their ass whooped is motherfucking Monique.
And what shit
Yeah,
you know
that
these
shit-
Bonnet Chronicles bullshit.
And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you the thing about the bonnets. The thing about the bonnets. First of all, ladies, if you want to wear your fucking bonnet,
Red shit.
wear your fucking bonnet. But what
And niggas
women,
still want to talk to you in
what
Walmart
women
with your
don't
bonnet on.
understand, what the older women don't understand, women such as Monique who are up in age, what they don't understand is that it's a generational thing. So older women, and Monique may be different because she got a little bit of money, so she playing in a different ballpark. But older women don't pay more than $100 to get their hair done.
That is true.
These young women, my kids,
They're spending more money.
They're paying a couple $100 for fucking wigs.
Yep.
Think about that.
250, 350, 500.
Shit, $600-700.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They're paying a couple $100 for just wigs. We're not even talking about actually getting their hair done.
Yep.
So, if she have a style in her hair and she know that bonnet is going to, because let me tell you something.
That's money you protect.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, I think
One of the cars I always said I was going to buy was a convertible.
Mm.
The only reason I have never owned a convertible just yet is because black women can't get with that fucking hair blowing shit.
Mm.
Black women just ain't with it. It's the only reason why I haven't owned a convertible.
You just
yet.
made sense. Now you see that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
But
But
like the most expensive wig my wife ever showed me was like an $800 wig. I'm like,
oh, you married?
yeah,
Congratulations, man.
appreciate it.
Don't let this motherfucker over here get you.
I'm not listening.
My man. See, I
I
thought we was just talking about, when I was talking to you earlier, I thought we was talking about a long-term relationship.
Nah,
But you're married. I respect that. How old are you, mommy asking?
31.
31. Oh, man, that's great. That's great. And y'all been married 8 years or
No, we've been married
married
5.
5 years? So you was 26 when you got married. My man, that's good. That's a good time to get married, too. That's a good age to get married.
Well, no,
That's
27.
27.
I'll be 32.
Got you. All right.
Get the fuck off the mic. Get off the mic.
That's good. But these young women, it's upsetting. It's a generational thing because these young women paying $600-700. So if my lady come to me and she asks me to pay for her to get her hair done, and I pay $600-700, motherfucker, I'm gonna put that bonnet on your motherfucking head for you. The fuck?
First of all, we gotta run to the store early in the morning. We don't have time to take our head down and then come back home with our hair back up.
It be 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Because we didn't wash our ass yet. We gotta tie our hair back up to wash our
somebody
ass.
at Mondawmin right now with a bonnet on.
Because she
Right
didn't
at
wash up yet.
Popeyes.
I'm telling y'all, she ain't washed up yet.
Mondawmin, Towson, they don't give a fuck.
Because we not letting our hair down and we ain't getting ready yet. But listen, Gully, it's been amazing.
First of all, Gully wanted to give us a fucking 2.5 hour interview.
Listen, and we could, because this nigga got stories and gems.
Listen,
He hits me with them every
For
event.
4 decades. I've been on the
Listen.
planet for 4 decades.
Every event, this nigga hit
We
me
can bring
with
it
something.
back, goddamn, because I'm ready
But-
to get some more.
Hold on, because VIB3Z Podcast, if you do not know, have a show July 16th. Every time we go somewhere, y'all, how many times we hear, I want to be on the podcast, I want to be on the podcast. So if you want to be a part of a podcast, then come to our show.
We gonna be live.
This show is about the guests. So come on through, and we got DJ Gully, y'all. So come vibe out with us. Your girl is hosting. The VIB3Z Podcast is the ones that will be doing a live show, chilling with Juice. So tickets are on sale right now. If you follow us at VIB3Z Podcast, a link is in the bio. Again, that's July 16th. American Legion Hall
Yes, ma'am.
of Towson, 8 to 11. So yeah, VIP tickets $40. We got giveaways, we got vendors, we got food. So
We got comedian Dave Butler and comedian Woo.
we sure did, don't we? And
We sure did.
DJ Gully, we didn't forget about you. So let them know all of your social media platforms where they can find you.
You can find me at DJ Gully 410. That's DJ GULLY 410 on every platform.
And then what about your businesses?
You can follow Party and Jump Inflatables at Party and Jump MD. That's PARTYJUMPMD. Listen. If you haven't been the VIB3Z Podcast, make sure you get it because
We'll get there. Don't worry
it's
about it.
a
You
good
gonna do a
campaign.
promo video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But tell them about
he drink hot liquor.
premiere event.
Premier events. So the website is partyandjumpinflatables.com. Premier events is premiereventsmd.com. You can also check us on all social media platforms at Premier Events MD. So, get up with us, catch up with us. I assure you, if you have an event coming up in any shape, form, or fashion, we can make it.
Barbecues, baby showers, bar mitzvahs,
We'll turn it up for you.
first birthday parties,
Divorce parties.
I've
Repasses.
seen you do a first birthday party. That shit was jumping. That baby was asleep.
Listen, we do it all. Call us, 410.
I didn't know we had enough. Oh, jeez.
And that's another episode of VIB3Z Podcast, and it's just like that.
Whoa, stop. Hey, don't hit that button. It's hot in this motherfucker.
What?
And it's just like that.
Oh, wow.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.